New to 7bet, place a tenner on your first bet at evens or higher, and they'll give you a £10 free bet straight back. Use the code WFB10 when you sign up. Works on any sport except virtuals. Scan the QR code. Click the link below to get a free bet. T's and C's apply. 18 plus only. Bet responsibly. Be gamble aware.
Please, 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 Chelsea. One more game. Everyone's saying that's going everywhere, isn't it? One more game. Two more games, but in the grand scheme of things, if you were to ask me, if you were to say, would you rather win the Conference League or get top four? I honestly think the majority of people would say top four. I think I'd probably be within that conversation as well if I had to pick. Obviously, we want both. Nottingham Forest was a big game last season, but this year, if you have a heart condition, if you have a problem with your health, maybe this is the game to miss out on, because honestly, I think this could go one or two ways. We'll obviously go to Nottingham Forest. We'll have a great atmosphere. The team will show up. Hopefully we get a result and we walk away proud and jubilant, knowing that we got a really good result. Or this could go in a totally different direction where the team does not show up. Nottingham Forest set up exactly the way that we don't like teams to play against us, which is with a low block. That is what they will do, most likely. I think people seem to forget about that. And they beat us. Now, if we look at Nottingham Forest when we played them at Stamford Bridge, we drew that game 1-1. They went 1-0 up. Chris Wood scored. Madueke scored as well. And they had a player sent off towards the end of the game, James Ward-Prowse. I'll be totally honest with you. I do not feel the level of confidence now that I felt then. In October, we were a different animal. We didn't really know what Nottingham Forest were about as well in October. We knew that they were a decent team, a team that could perform and turn up, no doubt about it. But the consistency they've shown, and I know they've slipped up in the past number of matches, but for them to be in a position where they've already qualified for Europe, they're a good team. They're a team that deserve more credit than we give them for it. I think any fan that just writes off Forest and basically thinks this is going to be an easy win, I don't understand that logic. I appreciate we should be expecting the win, but if I was a Nottingham Forest fan, I'll be honest, I would be expecting a win as well. This is a Chelsea side that are very beatable, inexperienced, and under a lot of pressure. And listen, pressure can either push you in a direction where, you do great things. Pressure can also have the opposite effect. And I'll be honest, I don't know. Maresca said that, that he thinks as a team, Chelsea's performances over the course of the season prove that we deserve a place in the Champions League next season. But obviously it means nothing if we don't get a result against Nottingham Forest. It absolutely means nothing. Nobody cares about what you did leading up to the competition, what you did during the competition, if you didn't get the end result. It's like Tottenham, Spursy, very Spursy if we don't get Champions League football. And they've gone and won a bloody cup. They've actually won the European Cup. And we're going to sit here potentially, I don't want to say having a worse season than Spurs, because it's hard to compare, obviously, where we finish in the league, but they'll achieve Champions League and a Europa League, and we could achieve Europa League with a Conference League title as well. So that is, that's the stakes. In terms of our record against Forest, we have a decent record against them. Our history of the fixture is pretty good. Last year, obviously, we won 3-2. That was unbelievable. If you didn't watch that game last season, oh my God, you missed out. Limbs in the away end, Sterling scored, Jackson scored, Reece James come on and made a big impact as well. It was just beautiful, absolutely fantastic. And I felt like at the Nottingham Forest game, there was a lot of togetherness within the Chelsea fan base, but we really started to pick up momentum around that time anyway. And we had a number of games where consistently we were able to pick up points. We had a lot of problems throughout the season, but we were on that upwards trajectory. And if you look at this season, our direction as a team was in such, I mean, we were talking about challenging for the league, and the fall from grace was just huge. But we have pulled back a number of results recently. I mean, these were must-win games anyway. Let's try and forget Ipswich and Brentford. I mean, really, we should be talking about this Nottingham Forest games as how far in front of every other team should we be? We should be in third. Should be ahead of Newcastle. We should be out of City. We should. I've got Aston Villa fans talking to me saying, "I can't wait to see tears in your eyes," as if they've done anything. They haven't even won anything, and they're still giving me sticks. So, listen, there's only so much that you want to take as a fan of your team, and if we don't make Champions League football as well, all of the PR, all of the rumors, all of these transfers that we're talking about, nobody cares. If you do not get Champions League, nobody cares. Do you think Osimhen joins us? Do you think Gorkarez joins us? Do you think any of these top players that we apparently have on our shortlist as if we're going to be the number one option for every single player in the world, do you think that they will accept Europa League football when they have an alternative, which is better? European football, Champions League. Listen, Chelsea have shown in their project that we've obviously really struggled since Clearlake and Burnley have come in. We've never won a title. That could obviously change next week, but we just want to see clear progressions. And I guess the argument is that even if we don't win this game and we get Europa League, that's a clear progression. But it's pretty pathetic, to be honest with you, considering how much we've spent. A clear progression is Champions League and a trophy. Now, in my eyes, it would have been a domestic trophy as well, because I do feel like the Conference League, it's a given. If you're not winning the Conference League and Tottenham are winning the Europa League, what are you doing? So this is a season-defining moment for us. And you know, the way we're going to set up against Nottingham Forest, I'll be honest with you, I think the main calls that are going to come out is Chalobah or Tosin. That's going to be an interesting one to see what Maresca does. Also about Reece James, whether he starts and inverts from the right. I don't think he'll be starting in the midfield. I think he'll be a right back. Or do you play Caicedo in that role, which we've seen a number of times recently, and then you start Lavia in there as well, and Fernandes? You can fit all three players into the fold. That is another potential option. So that's one of the debates at the moment is James or Lavia, potentially playing Fernandes higher up the pitch. We know that we obviously don't have a striker. So what are we going to do with regards to the absence of Nicholas Jackson? Are we going to play Neto up front? I think that seems to be the best option. Although I'll be honest with you, I'm seeing Mark Guiu, potentially a cameo off the bench. But if we're riding our hopes on Mark Guiu, then I'll be honest, from a recruitment perspective, we don't deserve Champions League football. I mean, how the hell can you expect Maresca to get us Champions League with Mark Guiu up top? No disrespect to the player. So I do still feel a bit let down by Jackson, if I'm honest, because we wouldn't even be having this conversation if we had a striker who could keep his discipline. In terms of the wingers, obviously you got Sancho, George, Madueke as well. Probably see Madueke, and then for me it's also a toss-up between George and Sancho. But if you're going for the experience, you would presume that's a relatively simple call from Maresca's side. I mean, I'm bricking it, guys. I'm absolutely bricking it. And you know, the more I think about this fixture, the more nervous I get. Chelsea released a couple of stats coming into this game. About the team. I don't know if this is to give us more confidence. They said that we've recorded 216 shots on target in this season's Premier League, the most by the club since having 223 in the 1920 season. Only Liverpool have more in the 24-25 season. I don't know if that's supposed to hype me up. Also, it's come out that Palmer's racked up 212 shots and chances created. the best tally for any Blues player since Didier Drogba in 2010-11. 150 shots, 74 chances created. So apparently, yeah. I mean, listen, this is all great, but if we don't get the job done against Forest, it means nothing. Cucurella is the highest scoring Premier League defender across all competitions this season. Most of his goals, though, all of his goals have been at Stamford Bridge. So if there's a record I'd like to see broken, Cucurella, bang one in Nottingham, please. Rub it in. I want to see the Penguin celebration. That's the iconic celebration, is it, from Cucurella? Listen, the way I see this game panning out is pretty predictable. I'm not going to sit here and imagine anything out of the ordinary. Nottingham Forest will sit back. We will have the ball. We will have the majority of possession. And we're going to try and break them down. And they will be very difficult to break down. That's the way I see this game going. And then it's just about their quality in terms of being able to capitalize on the minimal chances they have, because they don't create a lot. But when they create, they generally make the most of it. They've got a great sort of scoring percentage when they do have a shot, Nottingham Forest. Whereas we need to improve on that. We need to score more of our chances, and we do create more. So law of averages is in our favor. But listen, these are the teams we've struggled against. We haven't beaten Nottingham Forest, so it's not like we can look back at the Stamford Bridge game and go, oh yeah, we absolutely dominated them. We're just going to have to do the same thing in the away fixture. There's a good argument for Forest to have beaten us at Stamford Bridge. If it wasn't for an amazing save from Robert Sanchez, then I think the argument is we probably would have lost that game. So Nottingham Forest, for me, need to have a lot of confidence going into this game. Obviously, we know that they've already qualified for Europe. So credit to them and credit to Nuno as well. I think he's done a fantastic job. And, you know, Maresca's really up against it. But if he can do it, if he can get this result, then I think he deserves credit. He does deserve credit for getting through this game. We're going to need a good starting 11. We're going to need good in-game management. We also have an eye on the Conference League, which we have 48 hours less to prepare for in compared to Real Betis in La Liga. So I don't know what that's about, making it really difficult for us to start players, knowing we will have to rest players. Maresca's actually come out and said we're going to have to rest players for the Conference League final. So if you don't see Reece James starting, maybe that's part of the reason why. I think that's probably more reason why you would see Lavia starting in this game, because he's not going to play in the final. He's not even in our Conference League squad. And also, I just want to say, wouldn't this be typical? I mean, I don't want to sound negative here, but Robert Sanchez has been all right for the past few games in terms of his shot stopping. And I just feel like, is this the bad game that, we don't expect it because he's been all right, and then you have an absolute howler? And I hope it's not one of those days either. So listen, my head is telling me it's going to be a 2-2 draw and we're not going to win. My heart is telling me we can win 2-1. And that's what I'm riding on. I'm riding on hope, guys. I do not know what's going to happen. I'd be lying to you if I really felt confident about anything. I have no idea. Haven't got a clue. And I won't pretend to have a clue. But all I can say is I'm looking forward to the game. I'm extremely nervous. And I just hope we can do it. So let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree with anything I've said in the video. Put your score predictions in the chat as well. And fingers crossed, the next time you see me on camera will be after a jubilant win outside in Nottingham. About to head down to the pub to celebrate. Big up to all of you, and have a good one.